You have a lot of coaches who talk differently to younger players than they do to their star players. Now, I'm not saying he gave a rookie the same liberties he gave an all-pro player. You weren't going to get a pass when you walked into a meeting a minute late if you were a rookie. But even then, he wasn't going to jump on the rookie's neck. He was going to talk to him afterwards, pull him to the side, and be upfront with him. I had the utmost trust in him as a coach for a simple reason. His defense worked. When you played that defense exactly how it was supposed to be played, nothing could go wrong. It was a very complex defense, believe me. If one person did something wrong, you could strike up the band. But when you had all 11 guys on the same page, it was a hard defense to beat.
James Harrison made the Steelers as an undrafted free agent and became one of the most unlikely success stories in NFL history. A 5-time Pro Bowl selection, Harrison won 2 Super Bowls with the Steelers, and his 100-yard interception return in Super Bowl XLIII is still the longest in the game's illustrious history. The outside linebacker won the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award in 2008 and remains the only undrafted free agent to ever win it. The Steelers inducted him into their Hall of Honor in October 2023.
Forward. It's funny how folks describe my career as the first year being very challenging and then changing from then on, which kind of coincided with Coach LeBeau's first year back with the Steelers in 2004. Obviously, the addition of him in my life at the time was very significant. He gave me a lot of leeway. What is not talked about as much is his giving me a lot of responsibility as well. And with that responsibility comes a lot of accountability. He absolutely had so much trust in me, but he had trust in me learning a lot of different positions, me being able to move around, and me being used as that chess piece. That's a really wonderful combination. You see, a lot of these connections that coaches really have with athletes, whether it's in basketball, baseball, or whatever sport. Coach LeBeau is that person to me, and not only to me, but also, to be perfectly frank, to every single player that he's ever coached. Everything came together in 2008 when he had an all-time great defense. James Harrison won NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and I don't think I've ever seen an outside linebacker do the things that he did that year. We just had so much talent across the board, and it was not magazine cover talent. It was Pittsburgh-style talent that went about its business and didn't really care about the spotlight and really took on the personality of Coach LeBeau. He epitomizes everything as the man that I wanted to be. Among many amazing father figures in my life, he's a great father figure to me. For the period in my life that I was going through, the transition from college to the NFL to adulthood and marriage, Coach LeBeau was definitely a huge foundation for me. Aside from that, he represents the whole defense and the team from that era too. What I've always said to people is I don't think anybody who wasn't an owner of a team has been part of the NFL longer than he was. He played with legends, he played against legends, the same with coaching. He just has profound perspective on the game. The Lombardi Trophy should be named after him. I truly mean that because nobody has had the experience that he's had. Nobody's had the length of commitment, and those who know him often love him more than their own families. I can't imagine anybody like him ever. It's a blessing that I'm a part of his life, and he's a part of my life.
Troy Polamalu spent his entire 12-year career as a strong safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was the point of the spear for the Steelers' great 2008 defense. An 8-time Pro Bowl and 6-time All-Pro selection, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2020, his first year of eligibility, and introduced by LeBeau, who is also in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Introduction. Dick LeBeau had spent almost 50 years in the NFL by 2008. He had seen everything during a playing career that led him to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, followed by an equally decorated coaching career. Or had he? As the Pittsburgh Steelers were preparing for Super Bowl XLIII and still in Pittsburgh, since there were 2 weeks before the big game, LeBeau took a closer look at the numbers. LeBeau set statistical goals for his defenses to reach every game. He gave those benchmarks to his players before a game and reviewed how many of those they had hit after a game. Given how often